The air crackled with anticipation. The Corleone family celebrated Connie's wedding. Guests danced, music filled the air. Michael Corleone, home from the war, stood apart. A decorated hero, he wanted no part in the family business. He loved his father, Don Vito Corleone, but sought a different path. His war experiences shadowed him. He carried himself with a quiet intensity. Michael was a man apart. Michael preferred the company of Kay Adams, his girlfriend. She represented the world he desired, a world untouched by violence and crime. He shared his wartime experiences with her, stories that highlighted his bravery and sense of justice. His medals spoke of his valor, yet those same experiences set him apart from the joyous revelry around him. A darkness lingered in his eyes, a stark contrast to the celebratory atmosphere. The Don, a powerful man, commanded respect. He held court, granting favors, settling disputes. This was his world, a world built on loyalty, respect, and the unspoken threat of violence. Michael observed it all from a distance. He saw the fear in the eyes of those who approached his father. He saw the unwavering loyalty of his brothers, Sonny and Fredo. But Michael also saw the toll this life took on them, the constant tension that never seemed to fade. Michael, despite his reservations, loved his family. He understood the bonds of blood and loyalty that held them together. But he couldn't shake the feeling that this life would ultimately consume him. He clung to Kay, to the promise of a different future. His smile was genuine when he was with her, a flicker of the life he yearned for. But the shadow of the Corleone legacy loomed large, threatening to engulf him entirely. Michael Corleone stood outside the bustling family compound. He smoked a cigarette, his brow furrowed in thought. He watched his brothers navigate the world he wanted to avoid. Sonny, impulsive and hot-headed, argued with a disgruntled associate. Fredo, eager to please but lacking his brother's strength, trailed behind them like a lost puppy. Michael felt a pang of sadness for his brothers, trapped in a life they didn't choose. Kay approached him, her presence a welcome contrast to the simmering tension. She asked about his family. Michael, hesitant to expose her to that world, offered vague answers. He wanted to protect her innocence, shield her from the darkness that clung to the Corleone name. His love for Kay was a lifeline, a reminder of the world beyond the family's reach. Their conversation was interrupted by Tom Hagen, the Corleone family lawyer and adopted son. Tom, calm and collected, acted as the Don's consigliere. He was a shrewd operator, respected by those inside and outside the family. Tom represented the business side of their operations, a stark contrast to the violence that often erupted around them. Michael respected Tom, appreciating his intellect and composure. "Your father wants to see you, Michael," Tom said, his voice even and measured. Michael nodded, a sense of foreboding settling in his stomach. He knew that his attempts to distance himself from the family were futile. The Corleone legacy, like a shadow, followed him wherever he went. He took a final drag of his cigarette, extinguishing it under his heel. With a last glance at Kay, a silent promise in his eyes, he followed Tom into the heart of the family business. The air in the Don's study was thick with cigar smoke and tension. Don Vito Corleone, a man of immense presence, listened intently to the proposition being offered. Solozzo, a ruthless newcomer in the world of organized crime, wanted the Don's political influence and financial backing for his narcotics operation. Solozzo saw the vast profits to be made in the drug trade. The Don, however, remained unconvinced. "I must refuse," Don Corleone finally said, his voice a low rumble. "Drugs are a dirty business. It would bring unwanted attention from the authorities." He believed in maintaining order, in operating within a certain code of conduct. Drugs, to him, represented chaos and destruction, a threat to the stability he had worked so hard to build. His refusal was absolute, unwavering. Solozzo, used to getting his way, tried to reason with the Don. He spoke of the immense profits, the minimal risk involved. He appealed to the Don's business sense, his understanding of power. Don Corleone listened patiently, but his decision was made. He had built his empire on loyalty, respect, and a strict adherence to his own moral code. Drugs threatened to unravel all that he had worked for. Sonny, impulsive and eager to prove himself, spoke out in favor of the deal. He saw the potential for profit, the expansion of their power. The Don, however, silenced him with a look. "I will not be a party to this," he stated firmly. The meeting ended abruptly, the tension hanging heavy in the air. Solozzo left, his pride wounded, his eyes filled with a simmering rage. The Don, sensing the danger, knew that this refusal would have consequences. The seeds of conflict had been sown.